Was Nintendo caught red-handed in lying about this ever so confusing digital game card situation? Well, let's get into all that up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. So we are back to discuss even more Nintendo news, seeing how the Nintendo Switch 2 is on the horizon, and more people are starting to uncover some rather confusing aspects to the plan that Nintendo recently laid out. Now, more recently, accusations of outright lying on Nintendo's part have been thrown around based around this whole digital game card situation, which, when we talked about this in a prior video, I always said it was a little confusing and the messaging really wasn't that clear. Basically, they wanted to change up how gamers shared their digital games by making it quote-unquote easier and being more consumer friendly. Now, the idea here was you can take whatever games you wanted and share them or lend them out for a set amount of time, which on paper that sounds pretty great. But like I say, execution and how they actually plan to let this thing roll out, that's always key. Now let's take a look at what Nintendo Prime had to say over on X. That kind of puts this whole outroar into perspective today. Quote, "What sucks is the 20.00 update should be mostly a positive thing overall, but Nintendo lied. Please, Nintendo of America, add back the original feature of two people sharing one copy of a game playing online together. You said the old system would still work. It doesn't. Not for online. You have enough wacky PR going on. Don't lie to your fans. Please patch this back in. Thanks." Now, as the internet does, a lot of people came down on Nintendo Prime fairly hard for this kind of post. But Nintendo Prime came with the receipts to back these claims, and there was an FAQ page that explained how this would all work, and Nintendo went out of their way to change the wording right in the middle of the night. And to put this in perspective, if you had a family of 3 and you wanted to play online with everybody, you only needed one copy of a game, and that's even with 2 consoles. Now, because of this random change, you're gonna need 2 consoles, which does impact a very consumer-friendly future that Nintendo did lay out at some point for a lot of people. You also gotta question why on earth did Nintendo change all this in the cover of night? And why not explain the change and be upfront? Well, the simple answer there is money at the end of the day. They want to make you pay for 2 copies of a game. And this is a pure sign of greed in regards to Nintendo and how they're handling the Switch 2. Also, while we're on the subject of the Switch 2, I want to take some time and call out the loud majority here that yelled from the mountaintops, we should vote with our wallets and boycott the Nintendo Switch 2. By doing that and not buying the Switch 2, you're gonna stick it to the man? Well, as far as I can see, it's sold out everywhere, and that's all despite that ever so controversial high price tag. And the pre-order period was a bloodbath. And some analysts are even saying the launch for the Nintendo Switch 2 may go on to be the biggest video game console launch of all time. But hey, what do I know? But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass it off to you guys. What do you think about this digital card situation? But that about does it here. I've been Kalo. I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.